This is Andy Pirrell for Boxing Social, and I'm now joined by the British welterweight champion, Johnny Garton. Johnny, how you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Thank you for having me.
It's all right, it's good to hear you doing well. We've just had we've just had it announced, but we're obviously back at the Royal Albert Hall. You'll be fighting on the undercard. How does it feel to have the chance to fight at such a historic venue?
Well, if you look around the venue, it's a brilliant venue, and to say some of the names that have boxed here is, it's an honour to say I'm going to box here. And as I said in my press conference, I boxed at the Old Kent Road and the Coronet, and now I'm in the Royal Albert Hall, so it doesn't get much better than this, to be honest.
I know you talked about it in the press conference, what your ambitions were when you started out, but just in case nobody did watch it, just let everybody know, what was your dreams, or what did you envisage achieving as a professional when you first started boxing?
Well, as I said, when I first started, I just thought I'd try and get to 5-0 and go from there. We reached that, and then I got to 10-0. I got a beat on the 11th, I think it was. And then we thought we'd try and get a southern area. I got the southern area, it's just gone from there really, but to get to where I am today, I never thought it'd happen.
Is anything that happens in your career off the back of the Corcoran victory just a bonus in your eyes, man?
Just the British title was a bonus anyway, so yeah, anything that comes out, I'm willing to take any fight. I like to move forward now and hopefully push for a European and see what happens really.
That's what I was about to ask, You've achieved more than what you originally set out to do, so what is the ambition in the sport now? Has achieving the British title and having the opportunity to fight at the Royal Albert Hall made you think maybe I can do more in the sport than what I have achieved to date?
Yeah, definitely. It's given me that urge to push on there. As I said, no one thought I'd win the Southern area. I won the Southern area, the English, and now the British. And I'd like to push on. And let's face it, at the end of the day, I'm not getting younger. I've probably got less than 2 years left in boxing, so I want to make as much money as possible now and get out.
Well, just to touch on then, let's go back to that night when you beat Gary Corcoran. You've had a chance to reflect on it. What were your thoughts on the fight?
Oh, it was a cracker. I haven't actually watched the full fight back yet, to be honest. I've watched highlights, but I haven't watched the full fight back. But that's my kind of fight. I enjoy it. I know it sounds silly, but I was actually enjoying myself in there, and I like people like Gary who come forward and just don't stand in front of each other, and that is my kind of fight. So yeah, it was a cracking fight.
Gary was the favourite going into the fight. Did you ever feel that maybe he overlooked you, or he just played right into your hands because he assumed maybe he would be able to deal with you in an easier fashion than how the fight planned out?
Yeah, I think he possibly did overlook me. In the press conference we had for that fight, he was talking about how he'd box for world's honours and he wants to get back to that stage, and I think he said he had jabbed my head off, and I did say to him in the press conference, I'm going to drag you into a fight, and that's exactly what happened. And I was well up for that fight, and he should have been the favourite.
And as of yet, we haven't got any news on the opponent for the 8th of March. Have you spoken to Frank about anyone, any names cropping up?
Well, there's been a few names popped up, and I just said, listen, get someone confirmed. I'm happy to fight anyone. I honestly don't care who I fight.
I know that it won't happen on this date, but somewhere down the line, he was asked at the press conference, Benn, he's mentioned your name. When do you see that fight maybe happening? Is it something that you still are interested in?
Listen, at the end of it's a fight I'd love. As I said, I can earn a lot of money out of that fight. But at the end of the day, it's just a tweet, and no one's come forward and put an offer forward. So if they actually want to fight me, get in touch with Frank Warren and let's make it happen.
And we're still waiting for news as well on your campmate Bradley Ski. What is Bradley up to? Do you know where his mind's at the minute on the back of his loss on the 15th of December?
I think Brad's just having a break at the moment. I think he's away with his girlfriend skiing, the lucky sod. But yeah, no, Brad's good. He's just having a little break and deciding what he wants to do.
Just to get your thoughts on the world scene at welterweight, this past weekend we saw Thurman defeat Lopez. What were your thoughts on that fight if you managed to catch it?
I've only seen clips of it, to be honest, but I don't think Thurman looks as good as he usually does. Maybe it was ring rust, or I ain't too sure, but I didn't think he looked as good as he was, but the world level at welterweight is incredible at the moment.
Do you think Thurman, if he can improve on that performance, could be the number one in the division, or do you think that name or that tag will be with Errol Spence or one of the others that lead the division?
So I think the two who's going to lead the division are Spence and Crawford. I think they're the two that stand out to me, and I think they're the two I'd probably like to see fight at some point.
And what were your thoughts on Crawford-Khan as well?
I think Crawford by knockout, but I think Khan could be winning the early rounds because he has a good start and he's fast. Crawford likes to start slow, work his opponent out, and so yeah, I do think he will get to him. I say by about 6 to 8. I say.
So you envisage it being a similar type of fight to how Canelo went for Amir?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Johnny, I appreciate your time, and I have other people who want to speak to you, so thank you. Speak to Boxing Social.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.